All right, everyone. Welcome to your What's Working Now call with Kim and Lisa. We're excited to give you some latest updates about what is working now in digital marketing with tools, technology, and other random tips that we're going to give you. So, Lisa, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So, first of all, this is an ever-changing landscape. So, Kim and I find that it almost seems like on a month-to-month, week-to-week, things are changing, and that's one of the reasons why we like to do this particular bonus session live with you guys, because it's just what was working 6 months ago or even 3 months ago has changed. Some of the things still work, and new things have popped up. So that's what we're going to hop into. So let's go ahead and start with, so before I go into any of it, basically what we're talking about in the What's Working Now is what you need, what we believe that you need in terms of technology and tools, like Kim was saying, in order to be successful, building out, number one, your funnels, and number two, your content and engagement marketing strategies. So this is everything that we think that you need, and we're also open to questions along the way. So we'll hop on to email service providers, and what we're looking for in email service providers is are these things. We're looking for how much does it cost for you to have the email service provider. We really want as well for it to be an easy user interface. We want your email provider to have some type of analytics. We can't stress enough how important it is to be measuring all the time. Metrics are the key thing for any business to make sure that the strategies that you're using are working. So those analytics are really important. We also look for mobile responsive, so that when you send an email out, that it accommodates a cell phone or a tablet as well as a desktop. And I think most email providers nowadays do have mobile responsive as part of their platforms. We also look for integration with other apps. So what other things does it integrate with? What other apps does it integrate with that are important for your business? We look to see if it has the ability for segmentation and tagging. Those become really, really important when we get into our email marketing and how that fits in with your content marketing as well. So it's the tagging and the segmentation isn't just for emails. I want to stress that. It is also to see who clicked on what inside of your emails and who went to a social media post or whatever, so we can start seeing what do people want. And then the other thing that we're looking for are something called if-then conditions. So if they clicked this, or if they did not click this, then send them to this email or send them to that email. And to have that type of capability is really important, and it needs to be automated, because there's no way that you could ever keep track of it yourself. You would just, I guess maybe some some genius person could keep track of it, but I could never keep track of it. It certainly becomes unmanageable. And when you have those if-then conditions, what it does is it allows you to communicate with your prospects and your current clients based on how they're already engaging with you. And that's the hard part in all of this digital marketing space, is how do we replicate real human relationships? And that if-then and the segmentation and tagging allows you to do that.
Great. That is awesome. So I just want to say, if any of you have any questions or comments, there is a chat box you can open up and send us a little message if you need further clarification on anything as we're going through this. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the two things. Well, the things that we're seeing are working really well right now. So last time we did this course, things have changed that rapidly. So we're actually we're taking out MailChimp because we are noticing that it is definitely not the best tool to use in order to set up your business acceleration blueprint, your accelerator, which is what we're teaching you how to do, right? So you want to create a free lead offer for people to opt in for. And then when people opt in for that free lead offer, you want to have a way to automatically offer them your nested offer, which is your low cost offer, right? And then if they buy your $7 thing or your $19 thing, we want to have an automated way to put them into a certain bucket or tag them in a certain way so that they then get a whole different series of emails than if a person just comes to your lead offer but doesn't take you up on your nested offer. They're going to go back into your nurture campaign. So in order to do this, which is basically, like Lisa said, replicating natural human relationships. You meet someone, you become friends with them. You invite them for coffee, they say yes. You're getting along really great. You want to say, hey, you want to go to the park this weekend and have a picnic or something, right? You want to go for a hike together. You want to be able to offer them the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, right? The natural progression. So the way MailChimp's set up is it's great for businesses that just want to send one message to a whole group of people, like a monthly newsletter or something like that, that we know if that's not working well now in digital marketing. Just sending one newsletter every month to your whole list of people zone out, they tune out, they unsubscribe. They're like, oh, I know what she's going to say. She always kind of talks about the same stuff, right? We want to be offering them new stuff. So that's why it's so important that your tool supports what business activities you're doing online. So Active Campaign, it does cost something. The low end offer, if you have 500 contacts or less, is $19 a month. And then it goes up incrementally based on the number of contacts you have. So if you have 1,000 contacts or 2,000 or 3,000 contacts or 10,000 contacts, the price goes up incrementally because you're sending out more messages to those people. But what's so great about it is, opposed to MailChimp that you have to use Zapier and kind of jerry-rig the whole thing, this just contains everything in one system. And we're actually seeing, I had a meeting with Allie Brooke, our VA, this morning, and we were looking at the capability of Active Campaign, and it really is rivaling Infusionsoft and Entreport and these higher level programs that cost $2,000 to set up and $350 a month to run them. For $19 a month, $250 a month, depending on what features you want, you can do the same stuff in the email marketing section as you can in those higher level programs. So we're loving this. It's very visually based. We're actually going to be releasing on Friday. We're making some videos for you all of how to set up your accelerator inside of Active Campaign. And Active Campaign also contains amazing video tutorials that walk you through step by step, like how do you put somebody in a group, how do you tag them, how do you move them from your lead offer campaign to your nested offer campaign, how do you automate all that. So we think you're going to love it, and we wanted to add this in. And sorry, MailChimp. Maybe
MailChimp does this weird is every time someone is in a different campaign of yours, or I forget what I get mixed up with. Every time it's in a different group, they count as another person. So if you have them in 5 groups, they count as 5 people. So you can have, 100 people on your list, but all of them in 5 groups, and now you have your free 500, right? It's weird. That's sort of, to me, it's the snake oil sort of thing, like, oh man, you just duped me on that.
Yeah. So Yes. So you think it's free, but if you have somebody in your nurture campaign bucket and you have somebody in your lead offer bucket, they count as two people. And so MailChimp also starts charging you money if you're sending too many emails or you have too many people on your list, then you start having to pay. So down the road, Active Campaign is going to be a lot cheaper for you, even than MailChimp, because they get you with all this duplicating, the costs being duplicated based on those people being in different buckets. So, all right. So then, of course, we have the Mac Daddies, and we have Infusionsoft, Ontraport, One Shopping Cart. I meant to do this. I'm sorry. I'm taking One Shopping Cart off the list here too, because even though they've implemented tagging, you still need to have Zapier. You still need to have different programs integrated in with it in order to do the setup that we're showing you how to do. So what's good about One Shopping Cart is it does have your shopping cart, your affiliate program, your emails all in one place. But the emails are extremely hard to put together too. Like if you want to do anything that's really visually appealing, you have to hire an HTML programmer to really customize that email and set it up for you. I don't know anybody that has One Shopping Cart that doesn't have a VA like really supporting them in that program. So, with all of these things, they're always improving and changing and adding features. So who knows, they might get hip to the game and MailChimp too and decide, oh, we're going to make this change. But that's why we're giving you what we're seeing working now. So Infusionsoft and Ontraport are basically do the same thing. Ontraport is less expensive, but I'm finding Infusionsoft, the support is much better. Their system's much better. There's tons more money going into the development of Infusionsoft because it's just a much bigger company. So the way that they're rapidly changing and improving, in my mind, has them rule out over Ontraport when you're at that same price point. But they do both have really advanced capabilities. Infusionsoft, I don't think, Lisa and I use it. I honestly don't think we'll ever use all the features of it in the lifetime of our business. There's so much it can do. In fact, there was a spin-off company, I can't remember the name of them, Fourth Dimension or something like that. There was a spin-off company of one of the people that invented Infusionsoft. They spun off and created their own business that's all about how to use Infusionsoft to the nth degree, use all these capabilities of it that even Infusionsoft doesn't even fully promote. So I don't think anybody's going to really need everything that Infusionsoft has until you get to that, $500,000, $1 million business mark. So I would say really check out Active Campaign and see what it can do for you now. And if you have questions about that, our VA, Allie Brooke, could probably shed some light on that. So if you want more information about that, just let me know. All right. Anything else with those, Lisa?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to move on to your website. What's working now in websites?
So websites, we think, not much has changed since last time that we talked about websites. There's a lot of options out there for you, but we think that there's probably two options. One is the beginner option, and then the other is the, intermediate and onward option. And what we're looking for, of course, in websites is the cost. We're looking for good design aesthetics. We're looking for the templates. Are there templates there? We're looking for the ability to customize. And again, we're always looking for easy user interface, no matter what technology that we're looking at. We definitely are looking for mobile responsive. Again, so that if someone is viewing your website from their phone or their tablet or their desktop, they can see everything. We are looking for analytics does it give us analytics, and we're looking for hosting. And one of the other things that I would put on, maybe you can add this, Kim, just because we're adding the other one on there, is plugins on that.
Plugins for
plugins. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Because anyways, we'll get to it. So those are the main things that we're looking for in our website. So we'll start actually with the one that's more intermediate, advanced. If you have nothing and you're starting from scratch and ground zero, you'll start with the second one that we talk about. But if you are starting, you'll start with Squarespace. So Squarespace we think it's really great as just a real beginner, get your foot in the door. I need something up now. A WordPress site takes quite a bit longer to get up and running, whereas a Squarespace site you can get up within a day or two on your own, which is wonderful. It has really beautiful customizable templates. It's another thing that we love about it is that it's all in one. It has your hosting, everything. For a year, it's $250, which is super cheap, especially if you're on a shoestring budget. So we highly recommend Squarespace if you're just starting out and you're like, I don't have the $2,000 to spend right now on building out a website. Start with Squarespace. It's totally fine. It integrates with Stripe, as Kim is putting in there right now. And you do need to have good photography. What's cool about it, though, is they are connected with Getty Images, so you can search Getty Images, purchase from Getty, and it uploads right into your Squarespace account. We use iStock Photo, but there's so many different types of stock photography sites out there that you can use for images. You do not want to rely on like Google Images. You need to buy your images, unfortunately. It's true, you do. So it's very cheap. But let's look at WordPress for a second, and then I'll speak to the differences between the two and the plus and minuses. So WordPress can be totally free if you're using a free template, and there's now very beautiful, great templates for free. Or it can, if you're doing it yourself, you can pay as little as $20 for a template to $150 or something like that for templates. I mean, it can get pretty expensive just for templates. But if you're not good at computer-related stuff and not techie and you're not a designer, then you will need to hire a tech person to do all of the background stuff, like load the template, customize it, connect your site to your server, and there's all types of back-end stuff that needs to happen. And, that does cost, usually a minimum $1,500 to $2,000 if you want it done right. I've tried in the past getting people to do it for me for like $700 or $800, and I'm telling you, don't go that route. Because you just end up getting something that does not look good and is not working like you want it to. You will also, with WordPress, have to pay hosting fees, whether that's Bluehost or Gator or GoDaddy. You need to pay those fees, those yearly fees, which cost anywhere between $8 to $12 a month to get your domain hosted. You can buy customizable templates, very beautiful templates. You get give you a lot of support. So the companies that sell the templates do give quite a bit of support. So WordPress can be quite pricey, but now what I want to do is talk for just a moment about why, beyond just having a website as a presence for you in your business, and it's like my online business card, I need to have it so that people know I have a business. When we get into part 2 of the Evolutionary Business Accelerator, which is all about your content marketing and your engagement marketing, we're going to be talking about something called the home base and outpost strategy. And the home base and outpost strategy is based on this concept that wherever you put your content, you either own it or you don't own it. The strategy that you want to be working with in your business is always bringing people back to your home base, to where you own the property. And this is where it becomes really important to have a site that is really good in terms of blogging and having the ability to use your blog to host content. And it doesn't have to be like you're writing your own personal content every week. You can curate content. We'll be going over a bunch of that. But WordPress is hands down the best for content marketing. So Squarespace is great for getting started, getting up. If you have nothing, you need to get started, do Squarespace, do not do WordPress. That's our recommendation. If you've been using Squarespace or something else for a little while and you're ready to start working on your content marketing, WordPress is where you're going to want to be long-term. It's just, you can do so much more with it. It has more plugins. It's going to serve you in terms of your analytics and all of the metrics you can measure, and your tagging and meta tag, like all these things that we'll go over at a different point in part 2 of this course. So that's really where the difference comes in between Squarespace and WordPress. Short-term, beginner, we say Squarespace. Long-term, as you're starting to build your business, you're going to want to move in to WordPress. It's sort of, similar to, okay, when you start your business, you might have started out with MailChimp, but now you're going to need to move to ActiveCampaign, right? So then you're going to need to move up to Entreport or Infusionsoft. These are like the stepping stones.
Yeah, that's a great recap. And I do want to say that it's something worth investing in. It's something worth investing in because it really is your face to the world, your visual face. And so if you have a website right now that, number one, if it's not mobilely responsive, which means that you can look at it on your phone and it looks nice and there's a special menu for your phone or your tablet or whatever, you want to change that because the statistics are showing you would get, where before it was like, 10% of people will look at your site on that. Now it's like 80% or more will look at that and not ever look at the desktop version. So you just want to be prepared. Like, we're on our phones all the time now. So if you have any more detailed questions about that, feel free to let us know. Okay, the next thing that we want to talk about that's working well now, that was launched last year, is your learning management system. So learning management system is basically going to house your online education, training, programs, materials, course materials, and things like that. So the majority of you, if not all of you, are creating some kind of program online where you'll need to have a repository of that content and a way for people to, when they buy, have a personal log into the site, interact with that content, complete different modules and things like that. So what we look for in this is, of course, the end user experience. So we want to, if we're going to use a learning management system, we want to have something where the way that you see it, if you're your client, the way your clients see it is a true reflection of your brand. So there are systems out there. Jigsaw Box is one of them. There's other things that you can't customize it all that much, right? So maybe you have a banner at the top or something, but the learning experience kind of looks the same. If somebody bought a course from you or they bought a course from, somebody else, when you log in to the site, it kind of looks the same. So we really want to make sure that we're in our learning management system, delivering a learning experience that's congruent with our brand and also uses best practices around online learning. We also want to make sure that it has some nice design. We can customize it a little bit. It has easy templates, easy user interface. UI means user interface. So that means your customers can easily click around to different sections and do things. Again, it needs to be mobile responsive because someone might go on a business trip, but they want to complete their homework for you, so they might have their phone or their iPad with them or whatever. So you want to make sure that your learning system also can be seen on those devices and that it's funnel ready. So that means you can build some simple marketing sales funnel that either easily leads to that site so that you can register your new clients on that site. It needs to appear seamless to them. So we have funnel ready in here. We also look for email integration. So can you send out emails from that learning management system? Are there different apps that integrate with that system? So if someone purchases in the learning management system, you want to integrate it with your shopping cart program, whether that's PayPal or Stripe or whatever you're using. We also look for the ability to scale a suite of products. So it's not just one course that you can host, but if you develop 5 courses, you can host all of them on the same platform. And the cost trade-off. What were your thoughts around cost trade-off, Lisa?
The cost trade-off is, for instance, there are learning management systems that are really cheap, but they don't do all of this other stuff, and some that cost a little bit more, but they do everything. So you're not having to worry about that. So while there's a cost, there might be a higher cost to something like Kajabi, the trade-off is well worth it because it's so freaking easy, which you might as well just go into Kajabi right now because that's what we recommend, the new Kajabi. I've done, and so has Kim, and you guys may have as well. I've used Jigsaw Box a long time ago. I've used Optimized Press. I've used Kajabi.
I've used Ning. I've used Moodle. And I worked in the online learning, I headed up the online learning division of our marketing company several years ago. So there's all kinds of customized learning management systems as well.
Right. And so those are more like, you're talking like enterprise level corporate. Is that what you're talking about, Kim?
Not always. With Like the Journey, we used Moodle. It's, I
was talking about the ones who are using in the.
Yeah, well, before the whole online learning thing became a real boom, people would just develop their own. Like we know Jane Duber. Jane Duber has her own LMS platform. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That her husband coded. So. Yeah.
So one of the things, and Kim, I think this is a really good one for us to spend a little bit of time on and give our experiences of all the different ones and why we are using the new Kajabi, which is all what you guys are experiencing in this course is the new Kajabi. And I will say for me, using Optimized Press, I chose it in the beginning because, first I'm going to give you my story. First I did the old Kajabi, and I was just like, I don't want to pay that much per month because it was like $100 per month. And I don't want to pay the $100 per month while I'm trying to put it all together and don't have everything all put together. This is like 5 years ago. So I did Optimized Press because you just pay for the Optimized Press. It's like a one-time fee. I don't know what it was, like $150, and then you can create your own thing. Oh my God. So it was cheap, but the headaches that I had around creating, then I had to pay someone on top of that because I was like, okay, forget it. I'm not a tech person. I'm going to have someone else build this out for me. So I had someone else build it out for me. It ended up costing like hundreds of dollars for me that I'm like, well, I could have just had Kajabi in the first place. Then every time I wanted to upload content, it would seem like something would go wrong. Like I would upload it, but then the videos wouldn't show, or I would upload it and the font would change. And I was just like, I can't handle this because I hate doing this stuff. So for me, Optimized Press looked nice, but it was so much headache to upkeep on the tech side. And it ended up costing me more money than a year's worth of Kajabi would have cost me in the end. So for me to go to Kajabi, especially as they switched everything and did the fully integrated membership, landing pages, email, everything, which we don't even need to use, like Kim and I don't need to use all of that stuff. But the ease of setting up a membership site or an online learning site literally within a few hours that we
I
can
think I should show a little demo.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I want to just show you all what.
How many of you are using Kajabi, actually, by show of hands?
Raise your hand. Or if we can't see your video.
I think Deb is using it. And Dean.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Okay, so here is the interface. So I just clicked on, Deb's using it. Yeah. So, so this, I uploaded the logo. I had our designer design a pretty background. And right now we have 2 modules, welcome, start here. These are just placeholders. So the first cool thing is you click these buttons on the side and it's like, oh, do I want to show the welcome post, this welcome post? No, I don't want to. I want to allow people to download their video. Yeah. And if I want to change the colors, like customize the colors here, then, so like right now I have this accent color. I just put in the code. My designer gave me that code, but I can also just pick a color here. I could just say, oh, I want it this blue, or I want it this blue, or I want it this blue, or I want it this, just whatever I want. I want it to be yellow. So that's super easy. And then let's see, I want to change this one. So I want to make that, the same color blue. I just paste that in there and I click save. And then it gives me the updated thing, right? I want the font size to be medium. I want the font family to be Open Sans, actually. So I just changed it there. Video player colors. And then I save. And then I go back and go, okay, what do I want the header to look like? I can upload the image right here. What do I want this background thing to look like? I upload it here. So it's very easy to change colors. You don't need to know any code or any crazy stuff. And then I say, okay, I want to add my posts. So I've already created these categories, so week 1 through 8. And then I want to say, okay, inside of week 1, I want to create a post. So I just click new post. I call it module 1. And then I say, what category? I want it to go in module 1 to go inside of week 1. And I'm going to say, welcome. Here's module 1, blah, 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 blah. And I want to publish it. And I want to upload a video, pick a video file, or I want to upload a picture, pick a file.
And by the way, the uploading of the pictures and the videos is super fast. What you used to have to do, and what I had to do for Optimized Press, is if any videos I wanted to upload, I had to first create the video, put it into in an external server called Amazon S3. Then I had to take it from Amazon S3, crunch it, and then put it into, it was like a 3 or 4 step process. It was crazy. And it took a long time. This one, you literally just drag and drop your video from your computer and it uploads it. It does everything. And it saves it to Wistia. It just makes it, I can't tell you how easy it is.
So you see, boom, I just created module 1 inside of week 1. I uploaded that picture. It took less than a minute. Here's my we come, welcome text.
We come. Here we come.
It's set up with all these like logos, Startup Academy, whatever. You just edit it. So that's why we love it. It's super easy, and then you can set up sales pages inside of it as well. We're not really doing that, but you can set up an offer. You can have an affiliate program right here inside of Kajabi. People, so these are all of our, participants. And if you click on someone, then you can see, oh, they're registered in this class and this class. They became a member here. They've signed in 53 times.
We can tell who's been really doing their homework and who hasn't. They didn't purchase here because we're doing our purchases through Infusionsoft, but here's the email address, so you could tell a lot. And then there's the ability to make a front end website. So we actually have, we're not promoting this right now, but at some point this will be a store for us, right? It'll be the Wake Up and Change the World Online Learning Hub store. And we can have all of our courses listed here, and people can click and view product. And if we want to, right now it's set up as free, but if someone, if we want to, we can have people click also to buy. So for instance, if Anique had purchased just the Evolutionary Business Accelerator, but went into the main page, she could see all of the programs that we offer and go, oh, I'm interested in that one. Click on it and purchase it right from her account there without having to put in any new information. Like, her account is already made within our training hub. So it's awesome. If you're selling multiple products in your training hub, then for every client you have, they just need one username and password to get access to all of the products that they purchased from you, which you can't do that with like Optimized Press, for instance.
Right. And Kajabi, the new Kajabi, is trying to take the place of your website as well. So they do offer a blog, and you can create multiple static pages as part of this homepage website, but it's like the most expensive version. It's, I don't know, a couple $1,000s a year or whatever for that. And we're just not finding that to be cost effective for most people, especially when you can install a WordPress site and pay one time $1,500 to get a whole site designed and set up for you. Why would you continuously pay $3,000 a year? So, but they do have marketings. You can, here's integration. So it's integrating with MailChimp and ConvertKit, Google Analytics. So you can see everything. ActiveCampaign is integrated as well. So that's really great. So your funnel leads directly here. ClickFunnels, Aweber, your Facebook pixel. So that is basically why we love the new Kajabi. All right, so I'll go back to our presentation here. Any questions? I wasn't able to see the chat while I was doing all that. Oh, Anique asked a question about other online learning platforms like Udemy or Teachable.com, third-party hosts. So the thing with those is, A, you don't control it. So Udemy just did this very interesting thing where they decided that, I'm just going to stop sharing for a second so I could talk to you. So they decided that they wanted all the courses on their platform to cost the same amount of money across the board. So some people had courses that they were selling for like $600 that suddenly they became $97. So it's like they get to decide that. It's their platform, which is kind of strange. So it's like, well, you can keep your course on here, but it's going to cost only $97, or you can take your course off. That was what they told them. So I would say those types of platforms, they're good for, it's kind of comparable to having your nested offer, a low cost, little taste a little splinter of your bigger course, and you can use it as part of your funnel to take them to your real course, the full blown out course that's not hosted on Udemy. That's what I would recommend.
My thing is that actually, what I will say that Udemy has, it's like people are searching there for things. So in that way, it's really, really good if you want to put a low cost offer on there, because if people are searching for, healthy eating, all of the courses will come up on healthy eating, including yours. So in that way, it is good as a, just from a marketing standpoint. And, you just have to look at the time and all of that. You just have to weigh out, like, is that something that's really going to serve me? Is it just a distraction, right? If you're using Kajabi, you can do the same thing in Kajabi and create splinter offers in Kajabi too. So it's just, you have to decide what's right for your business.
Right. Anything else? Sarah says, I have a merchant account with my bank, so I don't need the payment features from a digital system. How do you get more information on Kajabi? And did you say it sends newsletters and does the funnels? Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of information. So I would go to newkajabi.com. They have tons of informational videos about what all it does. Or if you have a specific question, you can email us and ask us about that, or post it on the Facebook group. It's probably better so everybody can see the answer. And then it's developing out its funnel features. So right now there are some simple lead page type things, but they're not really, I don't think it's quite there yet. I think it's in beta, but they're not quite saying that it's beta. So, it's something that down the road, I think maybe within the next year, people might be able to get rid of lead pages and use the Kajabi opt-in pages. But, it's a wait and see kind of thing. So, okay, great. All right. So that leads us right into our next topic, which is opt-in and sales pages.
Awesome. So our opt-in and sales pages, again, it's just see some of these things are the same. Ease of use. It's always what we're looking for. Templates and beautiful design, customization capabilities, integrating with your email provider, and shopping cart. Those are critical. And funnel integration, which means that you can link one page to the next, to the next, to the next. Pretty much you can do that with everything out there. It's just how easy it is. So I might put in front of that word ease of funnel integration, because some do make it much easier than others. And then they have analytics? Some do, some don't. So let's go ahead and take a look. We haven't changed this actually from last time, because we still believe that lead pages and ClickFunnels are really what's working now.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing before we get into this, which is if you have an HTML programmer, you can create, or if you have a plugin for WordPress that, you can create your own lead pages. You can create your own opt-in and sales pages within a WordPress website. There are pros and cons, right? Like it costs more. The ideal is with lead pages or ClickFunnels, you could do it yourself. Like if you need to do it yourself, that's an option. But if you just want to outsource this, then it might be worth looking at, okay, do I have somebody who can create my pages in WordPress? The only thing there is additionally, you will need to have Google Analytics set up on those pages, tracking every single thing on the page, tracking the video plays, tracking clicks on different areas of the page. And oftentimes those analytic reports are kind of hard to decipher unless you have help from a techie person. So I'd say if you got a techie person, then you can entertain it. But I know a lot of people who don't have that, and they're just throwing up these WordPress opt-in pages, and they're like, I have no idea how many people are coming to this page or where they're clicking or how long they stay or if they go to the next part of my funnel. So I just want you to watch out for that. If you're going to go down that route, get help from somebody who knows about it.
The other thing that I'd like to mention about that, and that one thing that I love about lead pages, is that all of their templates, and actually Kajabi does this as well, I believe, I saw it in the new Kajabi, is they tell you what are the best converting templates. So they're giving you tried and true tested formats that work. And sometimes when you're doing a template on WordPress, if you're just creating it from scratch, it might not be the best, what do you call it? Tried and true template, meaning that, do you know that format converts? I want to know that the templates that I'm using are ones that have had good conversions on them, and then I can customize the colors and customize the headlines and all of that stuff already. So I really do like that about that feature of lead pages.
Right. Great. There's also a lead page plugin for WordPress, apparently, from Anique. Thank you.
Yeah. And there is from ClickFunnels too.
Great.
It's really cool. So you can just connect your lead pages with your WordPress.
Yeah. And for us, we use Squarespace right now. So we just you can export the page and load it into a page in your Squarespace site. So it's pulling the information from ClickFunnels or lead pages, but showing it on your own website. So you can still give your own URL and everything for people to go to. So there's lots of different options there. And then, so lead pages has just improved, I put here, just improved their customization ability this year. So one thing that we're going to be doing this week is because you asked us to last time, is to pick, I think we have 8 lead page template options for you. And I'll be showing those to you and talking a little bit about what are the best ones to use, so you don't have to scroll through the hundreds of templates that they have. We're going to give you here's the ones with video, and here's what we think is going to work well for you, and then you can customize it a little bit. Do we want to go to ClickFunnels or?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So ClickFunnels, we use ClickFunnels. So what we love about ClickFunnels is that it does have full funnel integration. So you can actually click, it'll ask you what type of funnel do you want. Do you want an opt-in funnel? Do you want a launch funnel? Do you want a book funnel, book launch funnel? And it has all the pages already there for you. And then you customize them, and they're already linked. So you don't have to go, like in lead pages, what you would have to do is find one page and then find another page, or copy the page and recreate it. In ClickFunnels, it has, and it knows, you're going to need an opt-in page, you're going to need an order form, you're going to need, opt-in page, sales page, order form, thank you page, delivery page, and it has them all there already for you, and you customize them. So that's what we mean by funnel integration. We like it also because it is customizable, but it does have a lot of template options. It basically gives you so many options for selling and webinars and everything you can almost think of. If you saw our sales page for this program, that's a ClickFunnels page, or anything that you see from us that's a squeeze page or a landing page is a ClickFunnels page. It integrates with your email, lots of analytics. So we like that. It allows you to A/B split test. Didn't say that about lead pages. Lead pages lets you split test. What ClickFunnels lets you do is you can create as many different versions of your page as you want, and then you can determine, okay, I'm going to let this go for 4 days and pick the winner and then click on the winner, and then it automatically just uses that one, which is great. And then what else does it do? Optional membership site platform. So it sort of does the learning management system for you. Although I think it's sort of incomparable to Kajabi. It's sort of like ClickFunnels is a landing page, funnel type of platform trying to also add on the membership thing. So I wasn't really that impressed with their membership site. And in terms of pricing, it is fairly pricey. I want to say it's like, what is it, Kim? I don't know what it is now. We got in on the beta, so it was really cheap for a year. And then when it came back around, they added all these things, and then they wanted to start charging us.
Yeah, well, we got the free affiliate program. We got the affiliate program for free, and they also have like a whole email marketing system in there. We got that for free, and then our low cost membership ran out, and it was like, okay, it's going to be $300 a month or something like that. And we were like, whoa! We want the base level because we don't need affiliates or email marketing, and I can't remember how much it is monthly now.
It's not 300. It's a lot cheaper. I think it's $97.
Yeah.
Something.
So I wanted to just show maybe the inside behind the cover. Do you guys want to see that behind the cover of ClickFunnels and Lead Pages? Would that be useful?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe.
I guess if everybody else is.
All right. Let me see if I can add this here. All right. So, so this is a test page in Lead Pages. So you see that, you have analytics set up here. You can A/B test, split test, right? Like try this one, try that one. I honestly haven't played around with this way too much, but here you click on this, you can change your, you can edit the text, you can change different aspects of this. You can, content section. It's not doing what I thought it was going to do. Anyway, but you see that you can basically have one page. You have one page at a time. It's also responsive. You can see what's it going to look like on a tablet, what's it going to look like on a phone, So I'm saving this page. But like we were saying, you can move some different things around, but not as much as when you're using ClickFunnels. So in ClickFunnels, here's the funnels that we have set up. So when you go to add a new funnel, it gives you this. So I want to collect emails, I want to sell my product, I want to host a webinar, or create a custom funnel. So, let's say we're going to sell our product. Okay. We want a regular sales funnel with a squeeze page. Do we want video pages? Do you want a membership? So let's say we're going to launch our product. So this is going to be test funnel, and you can say, I want to put it inside a group, right? So it's like you could have a group like our group anyway. So, and then you say build the funnel. So it tells you you're going to get these 4 funnel steps. You're going to get the landing page. You're going to get free video 1 to 4, an order page, and a thank you or a download page. This launch funnel was designed after years of testing different ways to launch a new product, and it's worked in hundreds of markets, and you can watch a video that explains it. So there's a lot of support. Then I say, okay, build that funnel. So I don't have to think about, okay, I need a landing page, and then it needs to go to an order page, and then they get an order confirmation page, and then they're going to get the video at the end of the thing. And in Lead Pages, you have to think through all those pages that need to get created. So here we are. So here's our funnel. So I've got opt-in, launch page 1, launch page 2, 3, 4, the order form and the thank you page. It's all the pages in the whole funnel sequence are here. And we've created templates for some of our pages that it also saves, which is cool. So let's say for our opt-in page, we've created this template, we created this template, and then these other templates come with the ClickFunnels program. So you see like this one has a big video and a big headline and a timer, countdown timer here. This one has a big order form on the right-hand side. This one has a picture of an iPad. You could put your product in there. This just says closing down, download it. So you can kind of scroll through like in lead pages and see the different options. But let's say we're just going to choose this template. We're going to select this. And then the cool thing about this is it tells me all the stats right up here. How many people visited this page? How many people opted in? So how many contacts did I get? What's the conversion rate? So if it's like, 100 people came to the page, but only one opted in, it's like 1% conversion rate. So you want to know your conversion rate. Then when you edit the page, does it do the pop-up opt-in? Yes, you can do the pop-up opt-in. So here you see when you roll over, there's different sections of the site. So I can click and I can drag something down. I can click this blue arrow and it moves it down and down in the page. I click any part of it and it pulls out this menu where I can say, okay, I want this video here. I want it to autoplay. I want it to take up the full width of the page, or 3/4 width of the page, or half the width. So it's pretty easy to click, drag, select, I want to make this orange instead of yellow. So what we like about this really is the ability to have your whole funnel in one thing, as opposed to thinking about every single individual page, and also just the customizability. That's kind of the two best things about it. Parts are easier to move than lead pages. I'm not sure, Sarah. I would have to, maybe Anik can talk about that, because I haven't used the lead pages builder in a long time, since they upgraded the user interface. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions about that, about opt-in pages or sales pages? All right. So let's talk about live stream video.
Okay, so live stream video, as you know, we're huge fans of that and highly recommend that you be using it in your business. So ease of use and the user interface. So face-to-face capabilities, can you have true synchronous interactions? So what I mean by that is right now we're all face-to-face. We can have true synchronous face-to-face interaction at the same time versus face to chat. So there's you talking and people can be live chatting and entering comments, which is great too. There's just slight difference, but as long as you can be live, that's good. Does it have social sharing capabilities? Does it have recording capabilities? We're looking for the reach potential, and maybe even, Kim, you could put in there targeted reach potential, because reach potential is great, but targeted reach potential is better. And then we're also looking like, do you have analytics? Can we have analytics on any of this? So we're adding in Zoom. As you know, we're using Zoom now. Last time through, we were using Webinar Jam with Google Hangouts. And, Google Hangouts is sort of like my first live stream love. But they just have, I think, fell off the bandwagon. Like they just aren't putting time and energy. Google's not putting time and energy into it. And so the quality of the platform has diminished, in my opinion. They've actually taken features away from Google Hangouts that used to be there that are no longer there. And as other people have said already before in this group, the video quality has come down. And I know I'm talking about Google Hangouts instead of Zoom right now. But I was trying to explain why we're using Zoom. We're using Zoom because we wanted to test it and see, like, do we like this better? And before I go into the Zoom things, I need to say that there is nothing perfect yet. Like, there is no platform that does all the things that we want it to, unfortunately. Zoom is like the best one for right now for what we need, but I'm not totally happy with it either. What I love about it is that it's easy for everybody to get into. Like, we haven't had any problems with anybody getting into a Zoom meeting with us. We haven't had problems with them getting in, figuring it out. There were those issues with Google Hangouts. And in general, we haven't had too many connectivity issues, although, connectivity is connectivity. It's all based on your internet, and you still have to know, like, turn off all other programs, hardwire in, make sure all your windows are down. Those things still apply to Zoom. And they do have HD quality video now. They did change that, so that's great. It records and uploads directly to your computer, which we highly recommend that you do upload it to your hard drive, not to their cloud, because they don't give you much space in their cloud. And if you go over, they start charging you. It's really like their sneaky way of getting you to pay extra is to host it, to save your videos and everything on their site. And so just a little workaround there. You just have to know that. You can have up to 50 face-to-face seats, which is awesome and unnecessary, in my opinion, unless you're like in a big conference or, something like that, I guess. We did try the breakout groups last week. That was pretty fun. I love that feature of Zoom, that if we have this group right now, we can actually take this group and all the people in the group and split us up into 2s or 3s and do masterminding or sharing with each other. So that's really cool. If you're going to use Zoom for anything outside of internal, when I say internal, I mean something in your business that you already have clients. That's great. But if you're using it for anything other than internal, like you want to promote yourself out in the world, it's not a very good platform for that. It's not integrated with any type of social media. It's not easy to, it's not a platform. You're going to have to do external promotions for emails, social media, whereas some of the other platforms, you can just be live and it's promoted for you on that platform already. So Zoom isn't really meant to be doing like quick little live streams like Facebook Live or like Blab or Periscope. They're two different uses. So I always tell people you have to understand what is the main purpose that you're trying to use the platform for in order to decide if it's a good platform for you. So that being said, we use multiple platforms. So Kim, what do you have to say about Zoom?
Yeah, no, I think you covered it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then Facebook Live, of course, as you guys all know, we love Facebook Live because it allows you to reach a targeted audience. What was the thing that we put on what we're looking for in it? Targeted reach potential. Yeah, and Facebook Live has that unlike anything else I've ever seen. And Kim and I just learned something new yesterday. So first I'll tell you the first thing, which is, why is it targeted reach potential? Because you can, when you're posting to your page or your group, those are highly targeted people. Those are people that you know are interested in what you're interested in. So that's a targeted audience. Not only that, you can post in other people's pages, other people's groups. You can do a Facebook Live anywhere. So of course you want to be really careful and obey the, good, what do you call it? Good
etiquette.
Etiquette. I was going to say manners, etiquette. You don't want to go into someone's group and start promoting your stuff, but there is a way that you can go into other people's groups, do a Facebook Live, and get yourself out there to a targeted audience. So that being said, one thing that Kim and I found out recently is that Facebook Live allows you to retarget the audiences who viewed your Facebook Live, right, Kim?
Yes.
So can you explain a little bit more what that means, the retargeting, and why that's so cool in terms of reach potential?
Okay. So you all know how, you're searching for something online, like in Amazon, and you're looking for shower curtains, and then suddenly every page you go to has the same shower curtain ad on the side. That is retargeting. So it puts a pixel or a cookie. Now, pixels and cookies are the same things. Everybody used to say cookie, do you accept cookies? But it's also now called pixel because Facebook's, has this pixel. So what happens is when someone is interacting with your Facebook Live, it pixels them. So it knows that, oh, this person watched your Facebook Live video. So you can target either ads, it's basically ads, but these days a post can be an ad, right? So if you post something on your business Facebook page and you decide to boost that post, that technically becomes an ad in the world of Facebook. So you can create an ad or boosted post, a piece of content that you're boosting, that you're making into an ad, specifically to only the people that watched your Facebook Live video. So that's pretty cool, because if you're like, wow, they watched my video for half an hour, and so I know now that they're really interested in whatever I was talking about, now I can send a special little promotion to them and go like, hey, what do you think about this? Or since you're interested in that, maybe this would be of interest to you. I created this checklist just for you that's about this topic, or we're taking this topic further now, or, here's my lead offer, basically. So that retargeting pixel just became available.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the thing to know about Facebook is that within the next 5 years, Mark Zuckerberg said that his goal is to make Facebook primarily video. So being ahead of the curve, or being on the forefront of this now and practicing, getting out there, do it. And that's why we keep urging you in our group. Like, I would even venture to encourage you to post once a week in our group a Facebook Live, just to become comfortable with it, so that you can go out, if you aren't already using it on your pages or whatever. Use our group as a safe container to just practice and get comfortable using the technology, get comfortable using Facebook Live. We're going to get more into using live stream video in the second half of this course. But yeah. So Google Hangouts, we've talked about quite a bit already. I used to, like I said, it was my first live stream love. And it's sort of not in that direction anymore. It's just losing the quality. But, you can have 10 face-to-face seats. They do have 10 face-to-face seats in there, so that's awesome. You guys have all experienced Google Hangouts because last round through we were using Webinar Jam, which is Google Hangouts. You can do the screen share, but now you can do the screen share in Zoom as well. The cool thing about Google Hangouts still is that it's connected to YouTube. And if you, like, here's the thing, Google Hangouts is highly connected with YouTube and Google+. So if you've built an audience in Google+, and you want to have a show or something, Google Hangouts is like phenomenal in the way that it connects with Google Plus and YouTube. But if you haven't built that platform and everything out there yet, you're not doing that, then I would recommend Facebook Live and start doing that instead. You do need, with Google Hangouts, to have a really good promotion strategy in place with it. There's some technical, you need to know how it integrates with Google Plus. You need to understand YouTube. So it's not the easiest platform to use, as it was so much easier when they first came out with it. It's just gotten increasingly more limiting, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
You take the blab.
All right, Blab. Blab launched last year, and we did some blabs. We went on and we did a few episodes of a show in Blab to try it out. To me, Blab, I call it the Wild Wild West, because you just don't know who's going to show up. Like, anybody can come in. And I find that, personally, I don't feel like, I know that some of our ideal clients are on Blab, but I think in order to get them and find them on Blab, it feels hard. It feels challenging. And I think that, the longer the Blab is, the more people come on, because they're just dumped into the next Blab after their Blab finishes. So I feel like to use it, have it be effective, you need to do like an hour Blab, hour and a half, 2 hour Blab. And I just feel like I'd rather spend my time on other things. It is public broadcast only if you're casting the net far wide, right? So you can get some non-ideal clients and looky-loos coming in. Like, I know a friend of mine does Blab all the time, and she has a couple people that are regulars. Like, she said, okay, I'm here every morning at 9 a.m. and she does like a breakfast show, and she teaches people how to cook healthy breakfast, healthy food. So it's like, there's a reason why they're coming at a specific time every day or 3 days a week or whatever. But she'll still get people coming in and being like, oh, you're so sexy in the chat, and so you have to just like block. That's what she said. You have to mitigate that. So I think, you have to weigh the pros and cons. There's 4 face-to-face seats. So you can decide I think it is a cool place to do interviews, because you can bring someone in to the other seat. You can lock the other seat. So you could do an interview. It's recorded. And of course, it's you can share those videos afterwards. It stores the video there. It's great for desktop and mobile. It's totally responsive. And then there's the cool features of social sharing. So when you're on Blab, immediately you can tweet to your whole following or post it on Facebook, like, I'm on Blab now, come over here and join me. But just remember, those people will have to leave wherever they're at to come to Blab. So it's not, I think it's definitely not as good as Facebook Live for that reason, why people are mostly already there all day on Facebook Live, and then you're just showing up live.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there is the interactive chat feature, which I kind of already talked about.
And I was going to say, for Blab, a lot of podcasters are using it to record their shows so that they can have the live feel. And what I've seen that they do is they block out the seats so nobody can come in to their show, but it can be either them or them and their guest talking. It has the live feel because people are coming to the show and they can see the comments. They can bring the comments in and do mentions of people And when the blab is done, it's uploaded to YouTube right away. You know, you can upload it to YouTube and you can get the audio from it. So in that way, it's good. I will say that we've had, actually, we didn't have the problem, but Carrie had the problem where she did a whole interview with us and it said it recorded and then it never, like it totally lost it. So that's a bummer. You don't want that to happen if you're doing something that's important. So just those are some things to think about.
Yeah. And then Periscope is the other one. It's integrated with Twitter. You can do a Periscope and people can give you hearts when you're talking. There is some interactive features via the chat, and it's only with your phone. So you only do a Periscope with your phone. Again, it's open to the public, so you can invite people to come watch Periscope. You can tell them, I'm going to do a Periscope at this time, or just see who shows up, whoever's there. You can record it, and it really is quickly growing. I think, 10 million users, the latest count. We were trying to find some recent stats on both Blab and Periscope, like what kind of people are using it for what, and what's the real following and things like that. It was hard. It was very hard to find any information. So we're not totally clear. Like, it's kind of hard for us to see, are our ideal clients showing up there? You know, people who are looking for business advice, entrepreneurial consulting, things like that. So you might want to do some research on your industry, your niche, if people are really hanging out there, and think about that. Yeah.
And I was going to say about Periscope is that I know that some like bloggers and them use it like super successfully, but again, I don't know that that it's really going to have long term. We'll see. It says a lot to me that Kim and I were searching before we were doing, and prepping for this time with you, to look for new stats on Periscope. And since Facebook Live came up and got launched, there's nothing being said about Periscope and Blab that we could find in terms of articles online. So I just think that's sort of interesting. And I saw that Monique is saying there's a debate about if the viewership is waning, and I think who knows? I mean, only time will tell, and that's this thing about technology. We have to just sort of stay on top of it and ride the waves out and see what's going on with that.
Yeah. Okay. Lisa, I saw we still have video wrappers in here. Were we going to not talk about that this time?
Oh, yeah. No, I wanted to talk about Webinar Jam.
But not 22 Social.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So webinar live stream video wrappers are important if you're using Google Hangouts. It's the only time. I still think that Webinar Jam, again, I want to just reiterate, there's no perfect live stream video platform that we can find yet. But what's great about Webinar Jam is it has made the selling component live really easy. That's what it's made for. It's made for selling a product or a program and doing big webinars using a free system, Google Hangouts. So you do want to look for ease of use, templates and customization, those sales and marketing capabilities, the social sharing, is that possible? Recording capabilities, integration with email and shopping cart, analytics, and Webinar Jam does pretty much most all of that. And Webinar Jam is only for Google Hangouts, just in case you didn't know that. And what's cool about it is you can do on-the-spot offers and polls. Now in Zoom you can do polls, which is cool. but you can't make an on-the-spot offer where it pops up with a button and says purchase now. That's pretty cool that you can do that with Webinar Jam, and it integrates then with like ClickFunnels, because those guys are friends, the creators of both of those. You can also, with Webinar Jam, create a series of webcasts ahead of time with one link. Now you can also do that with Zoom. Create a series of webinars or webcasts ahead of time with one link. But Google Hangouts is free and Zoom isn't free. You have the chat capabilities with Webinar Jam. You have analytics. What I love about Webinar Jam is you can look at those analytics at the end of your sales presentation, or your presentation. You can look at where did people drop off, where did the most people come, and those are important statistics to look at when you're evaluating what do I need to change. Because just because you think you have a great presentation, it's not necessarily so, and you can learn a lot by looking at the analytics of what needs to be tweaked in your strategy. It's really easy to use and it's cheap. Webinar Jam, I think, is a one-time, a yearly fee of like $500 or something like that. And so if you're using it a lot, it's worth it, with the caveat that that the actual platform itself is not as reliable as it used to be. So again, I wish I could say, oh my God, it's still the greatest thing ever, and things just change so quickly with that. So that is Webinar Jam.
Awesome.
And then were there any?
I think we answered them.
Okay, great.
Let me know if there's anything else, Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're getting into the last piece here, and these tech things that we're going to be sharing with you are really things that go with the second part of our course, with the our piece on engagement marketing and content marketing. So we're going to look at content marketing first. And what are the tools, or what do we recommend? What are we looking for in terms of a tool to help you with your content marketing? So what we're looking for in that is when you're doing content marketing, you're always looking, obviously, for content discovery. What's some good content that I can be using and curating and getting out there to my audience? We also want to look for a tool that allows you to do social monitoring. So when I say social monitoring, I mean social listening. You're listening to see what other people are saying or doing with your content, as well as other people's content who might be your competitors. So you're monitoring your website, your blog, but maybe you also might be monitoring other people and your closest competitors and what they're doing. We want a tool that allows us to identify influencers, and allows us to have some type of outreach campaign to those influencers. Again, you might have a lot of questions on what does all of this mean, and I just want to let you know that we'll be covering all of what everything on here means in part 2. So in a few weeks, we'll be getting to what all this means. We also want to look at content insights, and we want to look at how many, oh wow, this looks like a good article. How many people shared it to Facebook? How many people shared it to LinkedIn or Twitter? Are there backlinks? Who shared this content? We want to be able to see that stuff. We also want a tool that allows us to do research and plan for our content, right? We want a tool that gives us content alerts, like the most common one that you may have heard of is Google Alerts, where you can set up a Google Alerts account to alert you every time a certain word or keyword phrase is mentioned, and it will tell you what articles so we want that, content alerts. We also want content curation, the ability to curate content from a tool, and competitor research, which I've already just touched on briefly. We want to be able to see what our competitors are doing. and who are our competitors. So what we're recommending then is BuzzSumo. And when I found out about BuzzSumo, I was like, oh my gosh, there's one tool that does all of this stuff. I can't even believe it. It's like opened my world opened me to a whole different world of content marketing that I had never seen before. So it's literally a power tool that does it all. Like I imagine my fiance, Tim, has a bazillion tools in his man cave. But that one tool that does everything, like it drills and it sands and I don't know, it's like the Swiss Army knife of content marketing. It does it all. It's not just a sock, it's a hat. So it really does it all. You will not need to, if you choose to use BuzzSumo, you don't really need to use anything else for the content marketing piece, for all those pieces that I just talked about, like the content discovery, the research, the insights, the monitoring, the blah, 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 all those things. It's very easy to use. They have a lot of great tutorials. It makes finding good content easy and fast, which if you've tried to, for a period of time, tried to be consistent with a blog or with your newsletter and you just like pulling your hair out because it feels like, oh my gosh, I have to find content. I don't know what to do. This makes it easy for you. Just stay in. It'll free up your world along with the strategies and processes that we'll be giving you in part 2. BuzzSumo is something highly recommended. However, I will say, it does cost money. It's about $100 a month. And if you attend one of their first webinars, they'll give you 30% off for the first 3 months. So like 60 whatever dollars for the first 3 months. And then you go up to $99 a month, I think, or $97 a month. But you're going to be using it a lot. It's going to save you time. It's worth it. Okay, so then the last little piece is our engagement marketing tools. And I've used several, but the 2 that we're going to recommend, or our highest recommended, are Hootsuite and Edgar. And Hootsuite is great to start out with. Edgar, if you can do it, is probably going to be the best bang for your buck. And pairing Edgar and BuzzSumo are just going to be like help you out so much with this piece of the content marketing. So what Hootsuite is, it allows you to schedule your social media posts. It allows you to use a calendar, so you can go, oh, it's June 21st, and I want, the 21st through the 29th, and these are my posts, and these are the channels that I want to get it out to. Unfortunately, what Hootsuite, the downside of Hootsuite is that you always have to be refilling a queue of content, and you can only have so many messages in your queue at a time. So you will always have to be on this cycle of either you or someone else filling that queue full of content. Two of the things that you can do that are pretty cool is, but you can also do this in BuzzSumo, so it sort of makes this a moot point with Hootsuite. You can track mentions, but you can also do that in BuzzSumo. You'll learn in the second part of our course that you really want to be doing the social listening and seeing who's mentioning you where. You can set up an alert for that in BuzzSumo, but you can also set up an alert for that in Hootsuite. You can also create what's called a short list in Hootsuite, but you can also do that in BuzzSumo. So I'm like, if I had the choice, I would probably go with Edgar off of the bat because, go ahead and hop over to Edgar there, Kim, is because not only can you plan your content broadcasting, so this is what's cool about Edgar, is you can plan other people's content, right, as well as your content. Not that you can't do that with Hootsuite, but what makes Edgar sort of really different from anything out there is you can create these buckets or a library of buckets, and you can put your content into those buckets, and then it puts it into an automated rotation. So what you do, so let's just pretend that Kim and I have 3 buckets called Get Focused, Get Noticed, and Get Clients. I mean, those are really stupid buckets, because, but just so you get the idea, like any content that we have that's about getting focused in your business, we're going to put into this library, into this bucket called Get Focused. Any content about customer relations and client relations, we're going to put into the Get Clients. And any content that we have about getting noticed and online marketing and live video and blah, blah, we're going to put into the Get Noticed part. So we start building these libraries, right? What Edgar does is it then takes to start building those libraries, it starts to rotate that content on automatic, and you can put it in a calendar, whereas Hootsuite, what it does is the calendar is actually focused on this month and this day. Edgar makes this general calendar that's just Monday through Sunday. It doesn't matter what month it is, and you can say, okay, on Mondays, I always want my Get Noticed library to put it out at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And then on Tuesdays, I want my Get Focused library to go out at noon and 7 p.m. And so you start, and you can create as many buckets as you want, curate other people's content. And it gets it to the point, once you get it set up and you've got your content loaded, it starts to make it really easy. So the question you might have is like, well, why would I rotate my content? Well, that's what you do as a smart content marketer, which whether you realize it or not, being in business for yourself, you're going to connect with clients through your content. So in a way, you are a content marketer. And not everybody will see your posts. In fact, most people aren't going to see all of the posts that you put out there. So if once you get your library filled enough and you're going through a rotation, it's not like that post is coming up every day. It might be coming up once a month or something like that, right? So you need to repurpose your content, or else you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to create content all the time. This is how smart bloggers do it. You're like, how the hell do they do this all the time? This is how they do it. And the hard part is the beginning, because you do have to create content and fill up your libraries, but you can do that gradually over time. The other thing is they don't limit you to how many messages or posts you have in each of those buckets. So you're not paying extra for more posts, whereas Hootsuite you are. Let's see, what else do I have on? You can control each social network that you connect to. So Facebook versus Twitter, if you want to connect with those differently and how you do it, you can set that all up in Edgar. And I think it's like $45 a month for that.
So
you add on that?
Yeah, so Sarah had a question. I think it's a really good question. So okay. Boosting a post. So Edgar's going to post to the social media channel, but if you want to boost something and actually turn it into an ad,
you have to do that in Facebook.
Right? You have to do that in Facebook, right? Same with LinkedIn. Like now you can create an ad in LinkedIn, because when you boost it, I don't know if you've noticed, but like when you click boost now, it doesn't just boost and you say $12. Like you have to go into the ad manager and say, I want this audience or this country, or they're ramping it up more with their ad manager interface. So you do have to still do that manually.
And the other thing is, you wouldn't want something to automate a boost for you, because you don't want to boost a post until you know the analytics on it, until you know, oh wow, this post, which BuzzSumo will let you monitor, this post is getting a lot of shares. I might as well boost it, and use that. So you need to monitor those things. You're not going to want to decide on, do I want to boost a post or use that as part of my advertising until you know if it's performing for you.
Great. So Deb is saying you can go broke just marketing your business.
Seriously. You gotta be smart.
You know, so yeah, you need to get started with your content and engagement marketing strategies and ramp up to this. And we're seeing, like, you know, there's a break even point when you're hiring your VA to do all these posts or marketing, and then, you know, you're using the tool. Instead of paying for the VA, you're paying for the tool that does more of the work for you. But you know, you have to feed the tool. So I think that's a good idea. Minimum, optimal, super powered, you know, with the different categories, with the different options of technology. Is that what you're talking about, Deb? Like low, medium, high. Yeah.
Right. So that's sort of what we did here. You know, that was our intention anyway of giving you the different options here.
Yeah, so we give you the little dollar signs. So Hootsuite, you know, it's very inexpensive. Edgar is more, you know, Lead Pages is less expensive than ClickFunnels, WordPress. So I think I hear you, though. You're like seeing it visually.
Yeah, we can make this into a chart.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean by I hear you, though. You're like seeing it visually.
My phone thought I said, "Hey Siri." I don't know what I said, but it thought I said, "Hey Siri." Not talking to you. That was funny. Great. All right. That's it, everybody.
Yay. Yeah, hopefully, like we said, things change so fast all the time. Some of this stuff is the same that we went over last time, but we realized it's just really important to do this live every time, because even it's only been a few months and things are changing.